mission is lost. Who are you to defy me?
I've heard enough of his orders. We need to take control of this ship. Combaticons, combine into Bruticus!
All right, and welcome back, guys, to another painting stream for the diorama. We kind of ended off last night on the base layer and starting off and doing the top of the sky, and we couldn't do much else after that. But this morning, I was actually able to get some base coats done for the water and the sand, and it's kind of going to be the reason why I did that is because I want to kind of showcase what I kind of meant by the layout of everything. Now, I kind of posted a picture on Twitter showing the whole, like, how it kind of all spans together. I can't really do that here because I don't have enough space for it at the moment to take a picture or to show that, but it'll make a lot more sense once you see it all together. So the brown part kind of represents all the sandy parts, and then the dark blue is the water, and then the bright blue is going to be the sky, which is what we would start off with today. So we're just going to kind of move you around. And I'll kind of just bring my camera around. And I'm going to add an extra color. Just going to think that, you know, once you have, because I'm going to have a whole bunch of like trees and stuff like that in the background. So it's not going to be, so we don't really need to have a whole lot of different like variations of colors in the sky. I'm also going to have a lot of like clouds here. In just a minute, so I don't have to worry too much about that. So, I'm going to grab a plate. And we're going to start off with some darker colors for the clouds. We'll kind of work dark to light. So, let's grab my grays. Now, I was able to get a couple extra coats of wash onto the base layer, which I'll show in a minute once we get to that. Some graphite. Just gonna find some lighter shades of gray here. Too much. If not, we can always just use white to kind of light things up. I think we're good. We'll test that. Maybe this will be a good brush for clouds. Just going to try a little test here. Really kind of like that. All right, let me use this guy. So if I have more of these kind of brushes. I do. Okay, so we're just start off by just laying in some clouds. Now, it is going to be a little more further in the background, and there will be some mountains right up here. So we don't have. So we're going to kind of just like work on mainly the upper areas here. So we have to be also going to have to be real small clouds to kind of give a sense of distance and all that. So we kind of just like start right around here. Like I said, we're going to start with darker sort of shades, and then we'll kind of work to the lights. We are kind of going for more of a cloudy sort of sky, or more of a sort of not cloudy, but like more grayish sort of clouds here. I want it to be a bit more of a, you know, a more moodier setting, even though it is a beach. They are the combaticons, so the bad guys, so they need a bit more moodiness to their environments. Just gonna bring the camera down so you can see better. Move it away. Some of these other areas that are kind of like, you know, blotchy on the phone, I'll just kind of cover them up with some clouds. Not really looking at any reference here for this. I'm just kind of, for me, I don't like to look at reference for natural environments too much. I think it kind of looks, I feel like it looks better when you just try to do, you know, where you just kind of go from memory, unless you're looking for a very specific look. Or stuff like this, I kind of like to just kind of like feel it out. Because environments are not meant to be like symmetrical, like human beings or robots or whatever else I'm drawing. So you can kind of just like do whatever you want within reason, as long as it looks good. Yeah, so we're doing very, very small clouds here. So I want to kind of make it look like it's kind of in the distance here. And once your clouds are done, we can do the mountains. Probably won't be too much. I think I'll just use like a purple and blue sort of mix. Because you wouldn't really see, because whenever you're on like a boat out at sea, you don't really see a whole lot of detail in the clouds unless you're like really close on the mountains, unless you're really, really close to them. And so I don't like to do a whole lot of detail on the mountains for that reason. Because it's like not, it's kind of a waste of time to do something that's not going to be really all that prevalent in the overall thing. And so you want to just kind of, also just to make it more realistic, you know. It's kind of, I did the mountains and the oil rig from last year. I think that last year. I've been doing this for so much. I've been doing this so much. It feels like I just started doing these things, these dioramas, and now just like I can't remember when I first started doing certain ones. So that's how time flies by. I'll just kind of work this way. I'll kind of just like go like this. I'll kind of just like just cover that white spot. Let's go ahead and put a cloud here. These ones slightly bigger. Had a little bit of variation. This will be a little longer cloud. Just add a bit of variation here. And one way for this dry could probably work on, I think we'll do because this the water won't be too much affected by the sand here. So I'll probably just like work a I'll probably start in the sand and then I'll kind of work my way back up here as I'm kind of going. So I get a whole lot more done on the sky today. I probably won't do a whole lot on the base layer because I want to do a few more. I want to do a couple extra variations of washes. I want to do like maybe like a green one or a pink one because I want to add a bit more of a tropicalness to the water, just a little bit, you know. Just going to give it a more vibrant sort of look. And I actually added an extra wash this morning on it, so it should look pretty good. That is the plan. Once we're done this, we can kind of go back in and add some like lighter sort of shades to the map, to the clouds here. For this, I just want to work. I think it works better when you go from dark to light. It's kind of like the opposite when it comes to like drawing. I feel like. Okay. A little longer one here. A little more volume to this one. I'm gonna spread these ones out a little bit more. Maybe a little bit too close together. That's okay. Oh, I'm not even going down. There we go. Okay, should be for the bait for the clouds. Move on to the side and back walls. Just a long one right here. Let's do little smaller ones, kind of create some distance here. This should be good enough. Let's see view. Yeah, right side. So a little more paint. I think I did the last one. We can do another long one here. There we go. So I'll let those dry. Yeah, we'll wait for those clouds to dry. We'll have start on the let's see, maybe the base or just see how the base is doing. It seems dry now, so you'll probably do another wash on that for the time being. So grab some colors. Yeah, I want to do sort of like a pinkish sort of color. This one. Just to go kind of add an extra layer of depth to the textures and all that. Short front. View. There's our beach. And we're going to create two different washes. We'll start with one for the time being, and we'll do another one a little bit after. So we need to split this. Not sure if this is going to work just yet. Never tried. I don't want to do a whole lot of washes, but good shot. I'm gonna go for like a fuchsia and a pink sort of mix. Whoa, nice. This will be fun cleaning up. I'll save this for something else. I need to invest in some paper plastic cups. A little late now, though. Grab some towels from earlier, from yesterday. And I'm just going to sneak them underneath. Just a little bit extra sort of protection. Make my desk less wet, so to speak. It's not focusing. There we go. I'm just going to add a little bit of the pink to it. Just run across. Now this, once this is dry, we'll do a green, and then we'll kind of go from there and do our dry brushing with our whites. And that'll probably be it for the water. And then we can seal up the sand and go from there. Just add a little bit extra texture. Make it less boring. Just gonna run it across there. I'm just gonna swipe. So bring a towel. Just gonna dab some of the areas that don't really need a whole lot. Just want to do a little bit, not too much. Okay, that's it for the wash. Side in just a minute, and then I'll do a green on top of that once this is all dried. I don't know we can do it right now. Okay. Actually, look better actually when it's all like kind of mixed together, you know. So just do two different sort of greens here. You know, I'll use the same brush as well, sponge stick. Add some cool effects. Yeah, it's really too much. Thought I would mix a little bit of the pink with the green. That's okay. Okay, should be it for the water wash for both of them. So this one again. Hey, Grumpy, good to see you. Warpath, yeah. Trying to find a different sort of topic today for the trivia, or the poll. So yeah, there's our water. It's pretty much done now. I think that once this is dry, I think that'll be it. And then I'll just do some dry brushing with the whites. Just get a little bit of the whites kind of pulled in because there's usually a lot of like white kind of along the shore of the beach. So I'm gonna kind of bring that in, and then that'll kind of be it for the water. And then we can seal up the sand here at the edge here, and then that'll be it for the beach for the most part. And then all it's kind of left after that, kind of adding some rocks in. So yeah, moving in pretty smoothly. So it looks like my clouds are still drying, so we'll kind of work on the rocks instead for now. Get these guys going. Actually kind of seal up some of the areas that didn't really get a whole lot of attention. Let's see. Guys. You know what? I can find my toothpicks. That'd be really useful here. Yep. There we go. Drop some shit. It's all good. Here, what I'm gonna do is grab a few chopsticks. Or not chopsticks. That way, kind of lean them against something. There we go. I'm a genius. Sometimes. But how's everyone doing today? It's kind of a quiet morning for me. Didn't get to bed until like 11 last night. So I was hanging with the family. So couldn't really do a stream last night. I was kind of hoping to, but it's okay. Got up early today, so was able to get a lot of stuff done. Well, I got the base layers done for the back and side wall, so just wait for my clouds to dry in the sky, and then we can kind of go from there. We can add some more different colors. I like a whitish sort of gray on top of the already darker gray. And that'll kind of be it for the clouds. And move on to the mountains, and then the sandy beach, the back walls, and then the water and all that stuff. That looks good. You know what? I have an idea. Okay, asshole. Jesus. There we go. That makes more sense. Blotting has perhaps the coolest coastline and trimmers, but Warpath is my boy. Brawl is more combiner. Anything the stunting rule because they clearly have their own personalities. Yeah. Actually, I kind of like this one stop motion someone did, where they kind of portrayed the. It was a Harris Lurie or something. I can't remember I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he does these really awesome like Transformers stop motion videos, and he did a Combaticons one a few like last year or something like that. And it was actually really good. And actually, I really like the way he kind of portrayed the Combaticons, just kind of having this kind of sort of close niche sort of camaraderie to them. Because most of the time the Decepticons, they're always like fighting against each other. They're always like backstabbing each other. So it was kind of like an interesting idea to have like one like group of Decepticons that are actually kind of like more like tightly wound. They're kind of more close niche. There's actually kind of like a genuine like sort of bond between them. It kind of like was a kind of a refreshing sort of thing. To kind of see. So I kind of like the way that fan sort of portrayed it. Oh. You don't want to stick in, do you? So to speak. There we go. Got a little blue paint on that the other day. I also like the camaraderie between the Stunticons as well, because they're kind of they're also kind of that way too. They're kind of like they're always kind of more like about their crew before they are Decepticons. They're kind of more loyal to their own like sort of band. That makes any sense. Because like you saw that with like Dead End in the episode where he's like, who cares if Megatron gets killed by Bruticus? It's like. He's like, yeah, screw him. It's like, because they were kind of like reluctant to get involved at first in that episode where they're just kind of hanging out, like in the episode. They're like, yeah, well, it's not our problem. Yeah, that'll be really cool when Fan Space kind of finally gives us the dead end. Speaking of him. Motherfucker. I'm waiting for that guy for a little while now. But not exactly sure why it's taking so long to make that guy. I'm guessing it has something to do with the combiner elements of that version, but it's like at this point, it's like they already have the DX9 and the X Transbots ones that you might as well just like release this guy already, So most people aren't going to be buying it for the combined form as much as anyways. Like I think most people are just going to buy it for like the bot mode, So it's just like, at least for me, and obviously every collector's going to be different, but it seems weird that they're taking so long. But it is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta wait. But yeah, my collection's kind of coming to a close almost. I'm not to 100% close, just for the time being, because I don't really have the space for anything more at the moment. So for the collection I have, or for the space I have available, and for the what I can collect, I'm pretty much almost done with that actually. So my autobots are almost done. My Decepticons are pretty much done. I have room now. I do have room for one more shelf of characters. I just haven't decided which characters I want to go for on that shelf. Thanks, Grumpy. I'm thinking more, but I'm thinking more Predacons at some point. I think I really want to get a G1 Predacons on my shelf. I think that'd probably be the one to go for. But I don't think they have but I'm still kind of waiting for a better sort of set of Predacons to come out from one of the third-party companies. Some kind of. Then I might just go Headmaster or something like that, like Mind Wipe and all them. But you'll see. But right now I have the Sound Blaster from Fans Toys on the way, and then the Reflector from KFC. I ordered a couple weeks ago, so he should be arriving this week, I think. That's when it said it was coming. So, but yeah, that'll wrap up my season 1 Decepticons actually. So, with the camera guy, and I'm just waiting. Then now I'm just kind of waiting for Fans Toys to release their Blitzwing as well, because they've had that like Blitzwing on pre-order for a long ass time. It's still taking forever to come out. They've been teasing that guy since the very beginning, so it's kind of annoying. I think I might have to jump ship on that one if there's no news on it. I just go with Star Toys, but like in my heart, I know that the Fan Toys is going to be probably better than the Star Toys Blitzwing, so that's why I'm kind of waiting out for it. So. Even though it's a pain in the ass, it's like there's one spot on the shelf, the season 2 shelf, it's like not filled. It's just aggravating. I don't really want to spend $100 on a placeholder. It's like, I'll just wait. I can wait. Working on cleaning stuff to color on my computer, and it feels like it's taking forever. Yeah. So I haven't really decided what side this rock's going to go on. It's a weird sort of shape. Just that makes the most sense to be a flat side. That works. I'm just kind of adding my second coating of paint rocks, and then we'll kind of go from there. So kind of lay it down. Okay, that should be it for my rocks for now. I'll lay them somewhere gently. There. Stop doing it. Stop going. All right. Well, while it's going, we can kind of work on the sand layer then. I know. Fast stories in KFC ain't bad, which Takara would hurry a heck up. Not really right now, because I know. That's the worst part. Is like when they're coming up with really cool figures, and it's like you can't buy them because you don't have money for it. It's the worst. Yeah, I went with the KFC one because they were cheaper. Because like the Fans Toys reflector is really expensive now. All right, so grab some paint or the sand. That's sure. Use the sponge things here. Just kind of create a really quick, sort of easy sort of texture around it, around the browns here. I'm not going to worry about doing a second coat because it's going to be covered up anyways. So, and there is like little things like showing and can just like cover it up real quick. All right, let's move up the camera, give you guys a better view. But yeah, so my Decepticons are almost done. So my Autobots, the only ones I'm really missing are Trailbreaker, Blaster, I think Hoist, Skids, and a few others. That's about it. So I'm almost done there. Almost done with season 1. Now I can't really do a Jetfire because I don't really have the space for them, unfortunately. I wish I did. Might, but I'm actually looking at different maybe to kind of accommodate the size of that character in my display at some point in the future, maybe. More on the money that. Yeah, Galvatron's fucking sick. Like, they have really, really amazing stuff. Like, I actually just got their Scourge, actually, a couple of months ago. That's really fucking nice. Yeah. So I have all three of their kind of the main Decepticon trio in Fans Toys, and they're fucking awesome together. I almost wish I waited for their Ultra Magnus because I love the one I got from X Transbots, but the one from Face always looks really fucking nice, and it's really cool because it's like it actually has like the armor, like because for those that don't know, I think in the Marvel comics, I think is where it was kind of portrayed as that the main bot for Ultra Magnus was like a clone of Optimus Prime, like a white and blue sort of Optimus Prime, but then the armor that we see him in, the design we see him in the 86 movie, that's actually an armor like suit for him to wear around him, like as a sort of like a battle suit or whatever. And so this toy, the Fan toy, is actually going to be mimicking that. You're gonna have it be where it's like an Optimus Prime, then you can add and then you can have like the Ultra Magnus like sort of add-on parts on top of it. So it's kind of a cool idea. I just hope they can pull it off because it might. It's one of those things where it's a cool idea, cool concept, but it might end up stabbing in the back at some point if it's not designed properly. But it's a cool concept and it looks really nice from what I'm seeing from the pictures. So, but I already have the X Transbot, so I'm not too sure I'll be getting it unless I decide to sell it. But I'm not too sure if I want to do that. Because for me, when it comes to like collecting, it's like as long as something's enough for my liking, like, I'm not going to really swap it out. There's only a few characters I'd swap out anyways. But there's not really anyone in particular at the moment. Unless it's like a broken toy or something like that, then maybe. But then maybe I'd probably go for something new. Hey, Mrs. Good to see you. Yeah, the movie bots are sweet. Yeah, the Ultra Magnus looks really nice. And they actually have a Prime coming out as well to go with it, as well as an Ironhide and Ratchet. So, yeah, they're doing a lot lately. And actually, in speaking of like swapping out, I actually did swap out 3 of my cassette tapes. I went with the Mastermind Creations Rumble, Frenzy, and Ravage because I wanted a bit more. Yeah, because what I liked about those Mastermind Creations ones was that they actually had more weight or size to them, so it kind of gave them more prominence on the shelf. So now, like Rumble and Frenzy and Ravage, they all stand out like perfectly on the shelf. You know, even though they probably should be a bit smaller. It just kind of makes it look more impressive. We have like a big Ravage there instead of like a little tiny Ravage, you know? So, yeah. And they had the coolest, like, I gotta show this real quick if I can find it real quick. Because they had the coolest sort of packaging for the cassette tapes. Let's put them. Here they are. So when they sent out when they put them in, when they packaged the cassette tapes, actually made them in actual like cassette tape thing. So you have the Ravage here, and it actually has an actual like working sort of a cassette like case and whatnot for the cassette form for the characters. So you have the Ravage, you have the Frenzy, and then you have the Rumble. So like that was like really, really cool of them to do that. Hey, Dadman, good to see you. In and out. We are going to be in and out here too because we have a lot to do today. So, but yeah, that was like a really cool thing that the Mastermind Creations actually did with their cassette tapes. We actually like the actual packaging was like a cassette box. So. Now, I would show the characters, the figures, but I don't want to get paint on them because my hands are kind of dirty right now. But they are really, really nice. One problem I have is like the one like blaster on Frenzy's back is actually the wrong one. Like it's kind of like the hard to explain, but it kind of gave me the same like because the guns, they have like a different like sort of like fin on each side, and so they gave me one, and they're supposed to kind of like go jet out to the side on him. It's hard to explain. I'll have to show it, but it's kind of an awkward thing. It's the only problem I kind of have with it. It's kind of they give you the wrong little plaster thing, but other than that, they look good on the shelf. So yeah. They're really cool cassette tape boxes. It's really. And I think they did the same thing for the Autobot cassette tapes with the rewind, eject, and steel jaw. And then I think they're coming out. I think they're coming out with a ram horn as well. Not too sure about that. I haven't seen any images of it, so hope they do. So I want to get those as well. Because I really like this. I just like the more. I like it when they have more mass to them. You know, kind of makes them more. Makes them stand out on the shelf more. So I think the masterpiece ones for the Rumble and Frenzy, they were like just way too small for me. Like, I like a little bit more heft on the shelf. So, all right. Got a little bit of the beach going. So, it should be good for now. Right. The bottom or the other sides here. Don't have to do too much from this side actually because it's all going to be covered up by water. So they kind of have I have the beach and the water kind of drawn a little bit differently than I normally would have it done. Just kind of add a bit more to it. I'll show it at the end. I'll show it at the very end, like kind of like the placement of the water and the sand. So I just want to get this going first. And I showed it off on Twitter, so people are following me on Twitter. They kind of know the basic sort of layout. And I'm just going to grab the sides here and just kind of make it more believable. Get no love at all. Hard to find. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to be going for the KFC blaster. It's one I kind of like the most. I just think it's the most interesting of all the blasters. Yeah, I know that the other ones are a bit more like cartoon accurate, like the Fans Toys and the Star Toys ones. But I don't know, something about the KFC just looks better to me. Like, I think it just has more. Like, it'll look better like next to my Soundwave because it has a bit. Because I want to go for the metallic version of that one. Yeah, it looks a lot better. I don't know, something about the thing about it just looks a little better for me. To me, so yeah, it's like because for me, I like the little bit. I like it when they add a little bit extra detail and not be 100% like beholden to the cartoon. I think it looks just a little bit better when they have a little bit extra fluff to them. So, well, also kind of still keeping within the spirit of the characters as well, and the overall design cues. So that's probably gonna be one I go for, and also it'll look better with the Soundwave because I'm sticking with the Masterpiece Soundwave, so I think they'll just look better. Not that they're gonna be displayed, not that they're gonna be displayed together because Sound is always gonna be displayed with Megatron on my shelf. But if I ever do like some sort of photography in my figures, So I kind of play with the idea of doing some stuff like that. Just haven't really found the time for it. Yeah. Speedwave is the only other transfer I am is picky. It's not this prime yet. Hope y'all have a great visit. Yeah. Well, I think the KFC one does. It just doesn't have, but they're not like in. Well, I think I think he does have all the cassette tapes. There's not the cassette tapes I just generally want. I kind of want the masterpiece or the Mastermind Creations ones to go with the KFC one. That's kind of my goal with that. But yeah, he does have all the cassette tapes, the KFC one, and I think that the masterpiece, and I think the other, I think that the Fan Swiss has all of them. I think they do. I think they have all the. If not, they are definitely coming out with them. I think I saw like that the Fan Swiss was coming out with cassette tapes. So, yeah. So they're still making them. I just want the Mastermind Creation ones because they're a lot bigger. They'll have more. They'll have more weight on the shelf. You know. So they have, but so for Mastermind Creations, they have a eject and rewind and steel draw all out. So we're just kind of waiting for them to come out with a ram horn. Yeah, I really love the Mastermind. Yeah, I like the like. Look, I like the Fan Swiss sound wave, but something about the Masterpiece one just looks better to me. Like I like the. I don't know. I think I like the silver more than the white on sound wave. I think it just looks more premium. You know, it makes them look more. It makes them pop out a bit more. You know, and I think it contrasts well with like the blue. You know, a bit more. Like, because blue and silver are really good colors together, you know? It's just one of those things where just kind of works best. But I will begin the Fan Swiss Sound Blaster instead, so. I'll always have a version of that mold, so. Because it is a good mold. It's a really good looking figure, but I just kind of like the Masterpiece more. They won't fall over. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Because they don't really do a whole lot of re-releases for their Mastermind Creations. They only do it sometimes. I think they re-released their Combaticons. But that's about it. Lately, they don't do a whole lot because they're more focused on getting newer figures out. I think. But yeah, they get really expensive on the aftermarket. As they should, because Mastermind Creations does really good stuff. You know, they make a lot of really good figures. So. Do the Mastermind Creations ones look good with Soundwave? I don't think they look good with Soundwave. They look good. They look all right with Masterpiece Sound. Now, they probably would look a little bit better because they're a bit more cartoon accurate. So they probably would look better with the Fan Swiss Soundwave, but they still look pretty solid next to Soundwave. I don't really have an issue with them on the shelf together. That is kind of an issue too sometimes, where it's like you want like certain characters to kind of match up. Yeah, they have different sort of style to them, you know. Kind of mess with that. I'm just gonna bring that brush for this tighter spot here. And grab a swig of water in a minute. Okay. I'll let that guy dry now, and then we'll kind of move on to another color. My Clouds are not drying. Take forever. Put too much paint on them. Kind of working the now. I'll bring that to the base layer. Just pull back a little bit. Forget that they're sort of a pair, so it's really Soundwave and Sound Blaster, but yeah. Well, Sound Blaster is kind of like more of a cult character more than anything else. It really is just Soundwave, just a rebuild, because his origin was that he came from the Headmasters cartoon, the sequel series. That's where he kind of came about, and so it was. Basically, the whole story was that him and Soundwave and Blaster kind of had this like one like sort of last showdown, like where they kind of fought to the death. And they both ended up dying, and so they ended up getting rebuilt into different forms. So Soundwave became Sound Blaster, which is just basically Soundwave but with black and silver instead of like the blue and silver or blue and white or whatever. That has some vanilla. Oh yeah. Good color here. But yeah, that was kind of like the idea. It was just kind of like a recolor. And I think that Blaster became like a blue and yellow version of himself. It was kind of like that sort of thing. And then obviously, in some cartoons, they kind of made them different characters. Like in the Netflix series, they made them different. But that whole idea kind of came from Dreamwave comics. The whole idea of Shockwave cloning Soundwave. Making a new character out of him, because there was a comic, because in the Dreamwave was where it really sort of ramped up the idea of like turning Soundwave into like kind of like really embracing the whole like as scientist, like, you know, Dr. Frankenstein sort of element to the character that's kind of become more popular in recent years, whereas like they wanted to have him be more of a mad scientist like doctor who kind of experiment on Decepticons and all that. And so in the comic book, there was a panel where he's kind of walking through his laboratory, and there's like a test tube with like a Soundwave clone in the Sound Blaster color. So that's what. So for if you're watching the Netflix series, that's kind of where the idea came from, because in that show they have a Sound Blaster, it's kind of like a weapons dealer or something like that, or Energon. I don't know what the fuck they were doing with that show. But that's kind of where that idea came from. That's kind of like the story that they gave him in that show. I think I need a more of a yellowy sort of a. Is it all right? Some more of a beige, sort of yellowy sort of a ground here. Might have mix of color. In a minute. So yellow's elsewhere at the moment. Right. There's this one. And then the right side. Forget that they are sort of a pair, yeah. And then yeah, so like for now, like the shelf on the bottom shelf, at least for my Decepticons, it's kind of just like a placeholder right now, because it's using the old train yard diorama that I kind of scrapped not really scrap, but kind of like just because originally I was going to have that for my season 2 Decepticons. I might try seeing if I want to keep it, but just wasn't really feeling it as much. And I felt like the scene with the Mount Rushmore was far more iconic, so I think that made more sense, especially for those characters because that was kind of a very specific like Blitzwing and Astro Train episode. So I kind of felt like it made more sense to kind of have them in that sort of environment with the Mount Rushmore of Decepticons sort of going there. All right. There's a sandy beach. It's kind of looking a little bit junky, but once we get another color kind of going through here, I think that'll kind of help, because this is meant to kind of add some extra textures to it right now. And obviously it's going to be a lot more green on this side, especially. So it's going to kind of cover up a lot of this anyways. So yeah, I think that's kind of good. I just want to add like a more of a yellowy sort of a like tan to it. Maybe a gold might be better. Yeah, I think that looks better. So do that. Looks like it's still drying. So I'm kind of wait on that maybe. Rocks, how are they doing? Still drying. Let's check on my base layer. Oh, my base is almost done. If I do that now. Yeah. Really? So yeah, for those who weren't here for the beginning, this is what we kind of did at the very start. We added a sort of a pink and a green sort of color to the water here, just kind of add a bit more of a tropical sort of feel to it. So I wanted to kind of add that. Just going to kind of wipe away some of the excess paint or wash. I think it's pretty much good to go. And then we're going to kind of go in and add our white sort of highlights to it. So usually we'll see like white, because at the front of the water of the shore, it's going to be all white here. So gotta do that. And once that's done, we can go back and we can kind of finish off the sand here. So it's starting to harden here a little bit. It's kind of cool. Okay. I need clay. And a brush. We're just gonna kind of do some dry brushing here. I'm not worried about the brown here because it's gonna be covered up anyways. So if we paint all over it as much as we want. I'm kind of just like, and the way I'm kind of doing this, I'm kind of like starting from the back here and just kind of going this way to kind of add it, because it'll make a more faded effect going into the water that way. It's very, very subtle sort of details or movements there. Not much more scene is definitely more kind of yeah. Didn't get to read. Yeah, I know. I didn't read a whole lot of Dreamwave. I just know a little bit about it. Like it's kind of like just one of those things where I just like looked it up. It's hard to really find a lot of Dreamwave comics now. It's really hard to find all those older comics. I wish I could find them all. I might have like order them up on the aftermarket at some point. Sounds like really, yeah, really. It sounds like they had a really like a lot of really good ideas for that. So I kind of want to go through that. I have been hearing some mixed things about the newer Transformers comics from Skybound. A lot of mixed things. Some people are liking them. Some people don't like them. I feel like it's one of those things where I have to kind of judge for myself. So I know what, because like for me, it's like I know what will turn me off and what won't turn me off. At this point, when it comes to these kinds of stories. So. Especially in more recent years. Just add a little highlight to some of the ripples here. Oop, it's too much. Shit. One. Not good enough. Add a little bit of a highlight to some of these areas. Putting random sort of blotches on there. Okay, should be it for the water. I think that we're done. Done the water. So we'll let that dry for a minute, and then we can go in and finish up the sand here. And I'm probably gonna make it a little more. I'm probably gonna make the steep a little bit deep, more gradual. I just want to kind of wait until this was all kind of sealed in before I do anything like that. So, but yeah, now that we're. But I think I should have enough like sand. Kinetic sand to kind of finish it off, though it's not too much. So I think I always like use some of the excess from this side. So let's see what else I can do. Let's see. Stand here is almost done. Back walls. Okay, some of the clouds are starting to finish up drying. Work those now. Okay. We'll do. Actually, I want to do stand first because I have I cut the color out right now, so I'll go first, and I'll do the. Don't do that. Don't need you in the moment. Bring in the golden brown. Okay, so some areas are still dry, and that's okay. I do have to remember that I'm going to be 3 inches up this way, so I don't have to do too much details here. So I need to kind of apply it accordingly. All right, that should be good enough. The right side. There's my little sander. So I'm not really going for a very like bright sort of beach because it is supposed to be kind of like a, because the environment was kind of meant to be sort of like an old like battleground, where they found all the vehicles for the combaticons. So when I wanted to kind of make it a little bit more beachy, but also kind of add some like, I guess some age a bit to it, I guess is the best way I can describe it. It's kind of one of those things where it's like I can't really explain it. Clouds are done drying. Start those now. I think I'm done for the sand. I don't think I need much else after that. Let's do the clouds. I'll grab my white. Light gray. Thank you. Didn't do is do a whole lot of traits for them. The Void, Ray, Vital's Thong. Seems okay from. Yeah, nice covers though. Yeah. That's what's really drawing me to it, is more so just like the art style. I really love the old school sort of classic G1 style that they're going for with the comics. That's what's kind of drawing me in, so to speak. We'll move on to the clouds. Not fully dry there, but that's okay. These ones don't have to be perfect because they're going to be covered up by clouds and by mountains in a minute. And I think for the water, I'm just going to do something very basic, sort of like streaks into the water, which is different shades of color. It's all I really will need to do for it. And maybe I'll do like a little sparkly sort of, because a lot of times water, if it's a really clear water, there'll be a lot of like a sparkliness to it. So kind of do that. So I like a little bit of like almost like a star sort of pattern almost. That was ooh, 1:30 already. Nice. Making a decent time. I almost want to do like a white sort of a fade across it and then do the mountains. That might be a better option here. So the sky is kind of like a little bland here for it at the moment. I wish I done an extra color, but that's okay. I'll probably be covering up with a lot of trees anyway, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal. I'm just kind of noticing it's kind of looking a little bit less interesting, but we can do things to kind of fix that. Yes, after this, I think I'm going to do some rock work, and then we'll see how the base layer is doing. And nothing else, we can just do the water and get started on some of the water, or at least in the front end of the water. So the front area, we'll have to do some white. So it makes more realistic, sort of a shore line. Should look. All right. I know for a fact these are going to take a little bit longer because they're more like blotchy, so it's going to take a little bit longer for the paint to dry on the clouds here. So probably have to move into the water pretty soon. See, it's 1:30. I think I'll go till 2, 3, maybe 3. We'll see. I just have the day off on Tuesday actually, so I might be if I have. So I might do a stream on Monday night. And maybe if we need more time, we could probably do one more stream on Tuesday, and then that should be. Oh, I don't think this one will take too much longer though. Very simple diagram, I think, or at least in terms of like what we're doing. So if I get a lot done here today, so obviously we'll be going back tonight later to do some other like touch-ups and stuff like that. So if I can get a lot done tonight, I should be done this one pretty soon, pretty shortly. It'll be nice because I can then finally do another collection tour, because the collection has changed quite a bit since the last one. I think the last one I did was in January or December. It's one of those two. So I think I want to go for a more in-depth collection tour for my Transformers, just because they'll be a more. I know that there's a lot of people in the community who aren't as familiar with the collecting game for Transformers, especially like masterpiece collecting, because obviously there's different facets to collecting for different people and different, because there's different like scales, different lines, different sort of things that people collect. So it's kind of important to I think it's kind of important to kind of make note of those things. For some people who are kind of like new, they're like I kind of want to buy these toys, but it's like, which one should I go for? And all that. So maybe it's for some people to kind of know which companies kind of made which toys or whatever. And like one of the most highest viewed videos actually is a collection tour, so it's kind of interesting how that works. Yeah, I guess people just like toys. So I think that once I do, like also like once I have this final diorama, I think it'll look 10 times better. 10 times better. Because the shelf for the longest time has been looking, at least the Bruticus shelf has been looking really bare for the last couple of months. It's been really aggravating. Just like looking at it, like, oh my gosh, there's one more area that needs to be done. I just don't have time to work on it. So finally do that now, getting it out of the way. This will probably be one of the last dioramas, at least for a little while. I do have a few ideas for the future for doing diorama streams, but not going to be nearly as frequent as they were like last year and all that, and the year before that. But that's okay. We can do. We can always find more things to do on this channel. Oh, just one more cloud. Hey. Side. And see if you can do some more. Some stuff. Okay. Too big. I should only lose that one for that. That'll be fine. Do some. We'll borrow the light gray from here. Should do some lights. My brushing here. The rocks. Even that. Rockwood doesn't really take too much. Just need to do one base color. Then just do dry brushing. Just need dry brush for the light gray and dry brushing for the whites. That kind of usually creates a nice sort of texture to it. That's all I really need. Especially for something very, very specific, like a very different sort of rock sort of surface. If you're doing a more alien one, it's blotchiness there. You dry up better. It's much. That's probably going to cover that anyways, because it's going to be probably on the side. Don't worry about it too much. Again. Almost fell. Yeah. Just do that. Okay. That should be it for that layer. So let it dry. We can do a white in a minute. The box will be done. We can find a place to put on the base layer. Has been released. I want you. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Me, I chase figures no matter the scale. So yeah. So okay, I've been left in the chat. So gotta prep those shells. Yeah. Yeah, so like when it comes to collecting, though, it all kind of depends on your prerogative as a collector. If you just want, me personally, like the way I'm kind of going about my collection is that I'm going by masterpiece, and I'm going by trying to get all the characters in the show as much as possible. It's kind of like my goal isn't to like get just like a million primes and like kind of have a million primes at the moment. It's like it just happened. It just kind of happened that way. There's a little more. There's kind of a story to it. I might tell at one day, but my goal isn't to get like a million Megatrons and a million like Shockwaves or whatever. My main goal is just kind of get all the characters like as I remember them, and so that's kind of my objective. Okay, what else can we work on? Well, most of the base layer is almost done. So probably do that. Push that off. Probably move on to the clouds are still drying. So after that, we could probably move on to the water. On the back and side walls. Probably the best option right now. So we got to put thin, more sand to work with. So I think we're pretty much done here. Now first I'm going to grab some. I'm going to grab some glue real quick because I want to actually kind of glue in the sand to the sides here so that it doesn't move around or anything like that. So kind of just like do that as we go. Oh, stinky. Fucking. Stinky sand. that. Just put it on to the side. And put a little bit more pressure on the this stuff. It would be a lot thinner this way on the sand. Before moving up into more thicker set of strands here. Okay. Grab a little more glue. And then just a little more. Look at that. Yeah, yeah. I'm using a little poker thing, so I don't want to get my hands stuck in glue because I need my hands for painting. I really don't want to go to the bathroom right now. All right. The MPP, yeah, that really big. Yeah, I had that one too. I had that really big prime as well. So actually, because like for me, so to kind of explain how I got all these other primes I have. So it started off with this one smaller prime that I had when I was first getting into the game. Because at first I thought, at first I thought it was the Masterpiece Prime, like it was the MP10. That's what I was trying to go for, but it ended up being like a downscaled version of that prime. And so I had to try and get another prime. Then it ended up being that very, very big MPP10 prime. So it was like this extra oversized prime. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? This is like, because this is like really early on when I was starting to get into the collecting game. So I didn't really know all the different like companies at the time. So I was just like, what the hell's going on here? So eventually I did get a proper MP10. And then eventually I went with MP44, replaced that guy because I just thought it looked a lot better next to the Megatron. So that's kind of how I ended up with more than could be counted. And obviously I still have my older like childhood primes as well. those figures. Brian from China, that was worth it. Any of the trailer for that, yeah. That's so picky and yeah. But yeah, for me, I'm pretty much done with it. I think I'm pretty much happy with my MP44. I'm probably not going to swap out Prime anytime soon. Unless something really, really like good like comes out, and maybe. But so far, I haven't really seen that, so I'm not really looking to do that. And I also really love that MP44 Megatron or MP36 Megatron, so don't think I'll be swapping. Unless something breaks, then maybe. So I imagine MP at that fan toys will be doing Megatron at some point. I do think they will. So it'll be kind of interesting to see that. How it kind of plays out. I actually kind of wanted to have a Megatron just like in gun mode, just kind of as a display piece somewhere. So that could be a thing. But I'm not really in the mood for doing stuff like that just yet. I want to get all the characters I wanted before I do extra stuff like that. I need one of those like Play-Doh like rolly things. I think that'd be really useful here. Just kind of flatten this out a bit more. But I think it's looking good for the most part. I will probably need to thicken this up a little bit, just kind of make it more a gradual sort of a bend or a slope or whatever. But can't really do that right now. It should be 10, so the colors are muted. Oh yeah, there's like one. There's a gold prime out there actually. I'm not too sure if you someone it is, but I think it's the 3-0 one. There's a because there's a 3-0 prime. It's in like gold colors. That looks really fucking cool. I always wanted to get that one, but it's like only stuff like that, like where it's like a really unique sort of one where I might indulge it, but try to kind of see. I'm trying to get all the characters on my shelf. You know, that's my main goal right now, and then I can go and experiment and get new things. Yeah, one thing I can't get though is a Jetfire or a Star Saber, even though I really want to, just because I don't have the space for them at the moment. I am thinking about ways to do that, but I'm just trying to want to weigh out all my options before I do something like that. You fucking asshole. Maybe let's grab the rest of it. glue my fingers. Run to the bathroom. A minute. All right. Yeah, it has a lot of really crazy accessories too. That MP36. Just gonna kind of working. Might as well use up the rest of the sand now. It's almost done. Love it. This side there. Just want to add a little more extra volume, so I'll make it more of a gradual sort of a slope here. Yeah, I see it's nice. Yeah, because it has like a swap out chest, so you can actually mimic the 86 movie when Prime like busts his chest in, and as well as like the face has like a damaged face, the same sort of expression that he had in the movie when he was about to shoot Prime. Really cool stuff. Then MP44, the Prime, came with a bunch of like accessories to kind of go with that, because it had like a little battle damaged face, as well as the wound on his side there. So it's really fun stuff. All right, that's the last of the sand. I'll flatten this out a bit more, because I will have some rocks on here, but I think it'll kind of add to it, you know. I think it'll make more interesting. It has kind of on a slant, so it is going to be a little bit flatter here. Smooth out the sand. Just trying to flatten out this area a little bit more because I do have to have a Bruticus kind of standing here. So yeah, I did. I think mine didn't come with a Kremzig though. I think I got the because I think I got the knockoff version, so I didn't get a Kremzig actually. So I didn't need to get a Kremzig actually because he is supposed to be kind of the star of the Tokyo shelf on my display because that's kind of like where the inspiration came from for that shelf was actually the Kremzig episode because in that episode they go to Tokyo and so I was like, oh, that might be an interesting sort of area to put the season 2 Autobots in. So because Blaster and Inferno were in that episode, so and I have those two characters, at least Inferno, to be on that shelf because I still need to get Blaster, obviously, but. Okay. Gonna squeeze the sand. Trying to flatten it out. You gotta go. Well, we'll hold the fort down when the nature calls. You gotta go. No. I meant just like if I need to wash my hand. That's the only reason why I need to go to the bathroom. See, I missed out on the HasLab, Star Saber, and Arc, and Unicron, and Cybertron. Yeah. Well, I went with the Studio Cell Unicron. That looked better to me, and it was less expensive. So. But yeah, I'm not sure I'll be going for the HasLab or Masterpiece Star Saber. I like the Iron Trans one. Like, if you ever look that up, like if you look up the Iron Trans third party Star, I mean, like it blows the Masterpiece and the Stars and the HasLab out of the water, in my opinion. Everything looks a lot cleaner, a lot more. It just looks a lot better. It's just like a really nice looking figure. I really want to get, but I'm not too sure I'll be able to get or find a space for it. yeah, I think we'll leave it for now. But yeah, that's the base layer so far. Actually kind of liking it. So I just want to make sure Bruticus will be flat. Bad idea. He's kind of like blocked off by some bins. I'll leave it for now. It should be fine though. He's a big boy. Should be stable enough, and I can just like press it down more if I have to. So I just need to wait for these rocks to kind of finish drying up. Or I could probably do the dry brushing real quick, and then I can kind of add them in. So yeah, I could probably do some quick dry brushing there. Ah, I'm falling over. Yes, so that's fine. Be that way. So do some white highlights or like whatever. Then we can go from there. Okay. Okay. Should be about it. These guys. See what you mean. That one does look better. Has none. Well, yeah, yeah. You have to find the one off the aftermarket. The Iron Trans Star Saber. It's a really nice looking figure, though. Yeah, I really want to get a Star Saber and a Jetfire and all that, but don't really have the space for them. I might get one of those like smaller, like mini billies. That might be the best way to go if I am going to get those guys, and then just kind of give them their own like little cubby spot in the shelves, and kind of do that. But we'll see. See. Yeah, those are my little rocks. Just gotta wait for them to dry, and we can probably place them into the diorama. Yeah. Oh, we got a little bit extra sand. Throw them all into the ball. Little ball of sand. Put off to the side here. Yeah. Let's see. I'll see how my clouds are doing. Maybe I can do some mountain work. Oh, you are dry. Okay, we can do some clouds. We can finish up our clouds, and then we can do. That'll allow us to do some mountains, like hopefully. Show them I'm painting. Notes. Kind of go over the grays actually. I'm not sure I like them actually. Probably go back with the gray. We'll do. Let's do this white, and then we'll do gray on top of it. Dark gray underneath is going to be. Probably should have gone something else, but whatever. Whatever. We'll make it work. You know which ones I. Yeah, the Iron Factory ones. Yeah, they look good too. I like the Legend Scale ones as well. I actually kind of thought about getting a Legend Scale just for like the combiners and stuff. Might be kind of a cool idea. Kind of like a little Megatron Star Scream with Devastator and all them. But you know what, Star Scream should probably be with a Bruticus because that kind of makes more sense there. But you know, but like having a little Legends there might be kind of cool for the big boys. Yeah, they hasn't really, but yeah, Legends is actually really killing it like lately, like with their stuff though. Like if I had not started doing master, yeah, probably if I know what I know now, I probably would be going a Legend Scale, because there's a lot more you could probably do with the Legend Scale, you know, with the scaling, and you could probably get more characters out of it as well, like more, you know, on your shelves and whatnot. Like for example, like I could have a whole shelf just be season 1. Like I could probably fit like if I was to go Legend Scale, I'd probably be able to fit Jetfire, Dinobots, all that in one shelf, you know, as well as the main seasons in one cast. Then do a whole shelf with just combine with Defensor or Superior, and then the other season 2 bots and all that, and Mega Supreme probably could fit there too if I went the Legend Scale. So yeah, there's a lot you could probably do. Now they're not nearly now personally I don't think they're nearly as impressive on a shelf as like the Masterpiece ones. I think the Masterpiece just have more presence just because of their size alone. But Legend is still pretty damn good. So for what they're doing. And everything. bring back the other side wall. So I want to do the same thing. Kind of cover up a little bit. Some dry brushing. I would make the Domus RC or what? Yeah. Hold on. What's going on? When I said the drawing clouds, yeah, clouds are a pain in the ass. They're a lot harder than you think. That's why when I do my drawings now, I just grab paint and just like smear it onto the page. Now, like that's good enough. It's a pain in the ass that you kind of color around it because like you have to keep the because the pain in the ass to kind of keep that same sort of like sky like gradient while also having to work around like a big white blob. It's supposed to be the clouds, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I was like, fuck that. I was put like paint on a towel or something like that, and just kind of like smear it into the page. Which I probably should have done it for this, honestly. Now I think about it, but I was going for more smaller clouds today, so I don't think that would work very well. So I think I probably could have made it work, but oh well. Too late. Luckily, a lot of these spots are probably covered up anyways with some trees, so not gonna be a big deal. And we'll have some like palm trees kind of coming out this way and around them. Make sure there's no paint on the bottom there. See what time is it? Almost 3 o'clock. So I think I might do the clouds here, and then I might glue in some the rocks, and I think that might be it. I think that might be where I ended off today. For now, I'll probably do a little bit of work tonight on it, but I think I'm going to call it a wrap after this part. And then after that, it's going to be a matter of just getting the water done, then some trees, and then some of the foliage, like on some greens and stuff like that. So, and then yeah, that'll be just about it. Just adding like little extra details. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that'd be kind of cool though, as a display thing where you have like a whole like swarm of little Insecticons, like in a diorama or something like that. That'd be kind of cool actually. Because there were times in the episodes where they would like duplicate themselves. So yeah, I mean that'd be a cool movie too. Actually, like if they made a movie with the Insecticons, because Insecticons could be their own villains as well in their own movie, because they really did. So they weren't like 100% loyal to Megatron. Like they weren't just like they're kind of like they're like the Dinobots. They were kind of they had their own sort of agendas. Yeah, I think they kind of make their own. They could probably make their own as a villain, for a movie. That'd be kind of cool. And bugs are always kind of cool to have as a villain, sort of thing. Whether it be in a monster movie or something like that, or what have you. So it's kind of like a nice, like, creepy factor to them, And I like creepy villains; they're fun. I would paintings. It's helping you so that. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah. I never really understood the whole point of head matches, to be honest. I never really understood the whole point of it. It's just like, why would you have a mini transformer just for your head? It's like is that necessary? It's like, And target masters are one thing. Like, target masters actually kind of made sense because like if you had a little, because if you were a little transformer, then it kind of makes sense that you would be kind of like you turn into like a weapon for a bigger transformer. You know, but it's like I never understood the point like of the human head of a human going into a robot head and then just being attached to the robot. It's just like it seems kind of counterintuitive. It's like I just don't see the point of it. It's just like his head wasn't good enough. He just needs a second person in his head talking to him. It's like I don't never understood the headmaster how that worked, you know, or what the point of it was. Always seemed like kind of odd sort of concept. I kind of like the way they did it in the animated, actually, Transformers animated cartoon, where it was just like a human character who kind of was a criminal. He was kind of going around stealing Transformers heads and stuff like that, or bodies or whatever. That was like one thing. Like I thought that made more sense. You know, where it's like it had a more practical use in the story that way. I felt like the whole concept. Kind of like kind of like Vespis. Yeah, exactly. Like imagine that like as a Transformers movie. You know, you have a massive like swarm of Insecticons trying to take over the world, and have it be a threat that both Autobots and Decepticons have to fight. That'd become an interesting story. So it would be something different. You know, it would be a little bit different sort of story for Transformers, where it's like it's a threat for both Autobots and Decepticons, which is just a threat for the Autobots. You know. I mean, I never really saw that. We never really seen that in a movie yet. We haven't really seen that was the thing in the cartoons that there'd be some episodes where the Autobots and Decepticons would actually kind of work together to solve certain problems, you know, that were threatening both. So we've never really actually seen that in a film. We kind of saw it a little bit in the third movie where Megatron betrays Sentinel Prime, but it's like but in the scene, like Prime like kind of repays him by cutting his head off. Like it's just like he saved his life and they just killed him. It's just like what the fuck is he? This is not Prime. It's like the lamest way to kill Megatron as well. It's like beat by a guy with one arm, while he had the gun pointed at him, mind you. He still lost. It's like movie Megatron sucked. And what's even more fucked up is actually in the novelization of the movie, apparently Megatron and Prime actually did make a truce and actually became friends at the end of the movie, or in the book. But in the movie version, it's like not just killed him. It's like, oh, that's nice. That's totally Prime like. To kill somebody who just saved his life. So even if he wouldn't like trust him, it's like obviously he wouldn't be able to trust Megatron or whatever, but it's just like you at least do the whole thing like, you know, fight another day type thing, you know. He wouldn't just like straight up kill him. Like it'd make more sense if Megatron tried to attack Prime first and then go there, but whatever. I'm trying to add reason to the Michael Bay films. So my first problem. This is why I kind of hate matches. It's the it's just like it was a weird sort of thing. I mean, they're kind of cool. I mean, the characters themselves, the Transformers, are cool. It's just the idea behind it is kind of like dumb, you know. It's like Mindwipe's kind of cool, like a big bat transformer, or Weird Wolf and the Skull Cruncher, like the big crocodile, like that. Like they're cool characters. It's just like the whole concept of the headmaster from G1 was kind of like a little. It's like, what are you doing here? It's like, what's the point here? It's like because the target master makes sense because it's like some transformers are built like smaller than others, so it's just like it makes sense that one that would turn into like a gun or like a bigger transformer. Where it's like little buddy, he's like little buddy, it's sidekick sort of thing. But the headmasters is like, well, what's the point? It's like, not just that, if you're putting a human in your head, like the Autobots especially, it's like you're putting them in danger. It's like you're putting them in danger like every time you go into a battle. You know, because if you die, then that human dies. You know, so none of it never made sense to me. But I think that the animated version was kind of made more sense because it was a human, who was sort of just like who was a kind of a technological guy who was kind of a bit of a nerd. He was kind of like trying to possess the Transformers and then trying to steal their bodies with the head. Like that made more sense to me. Whereas like it was a human, a villain, he was trying to do that. Control and Decepticon Swarm would be a problem for Autobots. Yeah, exactly. Because it was a waste. Yeah, kind of, a little bit. I thought it was fine. Oh yeah, Leonard Nimoy as Sentinel Prime. Yeah, like he did a good job actually. I actually kind of liked his character of Sentinel Prime in that movie. It's just like the rest of the film is just shit. And he did a good job. He was really good in that film, Leonard Nimoy as Sentinel Prime. But they should have had him as Galvatron. They should have had him as Galvatron as well at some point. That would have been a lot cooler if he actually reprised his role as Galvatron in one of the movies. So if you can't give us a good story, at least give us, Leonard Nimoy as Galvatron. It's like, okay, maybe it's not as bad. Okay. No. And I felt like he actually kind of did work as a kind of a mentor, sort of like I felt like he worked really well as sort of like what a mentor figure. Because I felt like he played off of Peter Cullen very well in that movie. Like it's kind of a mentor figure for him. Like it seemed like they were on the same level. But the problem I have is that Megatron doesn't seem like he's on the same level as them. He doesn't seem like with Hugo Weaving. Like he does a good job. He does a good job. Don't get me wrong. It's a good job what he does. But like with Frank Welker, with Megatron, he's supposed to be like older than Prime. He's supposed to have like a sort of a bit more age to him. And so with Hugo Weaving, not that the actor has to be the same age as Peter Cullen, but he has to at least sound the same age. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's what why I always think that you should always kind of pair up Peter Cullen with someone like Frank Welker or Corey Burton, maybe like from Transformers Animated. I think that he'd probably work fine as well with Peter Cullen because you need someone who can portray a lot of that age that Megatron's supposed to have. He's supposed to have like this very He's supposed to be this very experienced, like, warlord sort of guy. You know, he's supposed to be been through a lot, and you should be able to tell that just by the sound of his voice. It's kind of like what, you know, Frank Welker does extremely well with Megatron, especially in like Transformers Prime and what other versions, as well as like G1, obviously. But we're supposed to have that sort of like you know, that voice that kind of has like that sort of like hint of like, you know, this guy's been through shit. You know, it's like it's supposed to, that's what it's supposed to kind of evoke. You know, like someone who's been through like the worst, you know, who's seen a lot of shit. Yeah, so I didn't really feel that with Hugo Weaving. I felt like he might have been maybe better for like an Onslaught or you know, or something like that. Or if he was going about, or if he was like playing off of a younger Prime or a different actor for Prime, but he still did a good job. I'm not trying to take away what Hugo Weaving did. He did a good job with what he was given, but I don't know, something about it just didn't seem right, you know, when you had him with Prime. Kurtzman Ortzi was clearly the talent in that team. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't doubt that. They have a habit of ruining good things. Yeah, Nimoy was great. It was a waste of him because that movie was, yeah. Like, imagine if they got him as like an Alpha Trion, maybe. I don't know. I'm not too sure if he would have been a good. Might be a little bit too rough for an Alpha Trion, but yeah. Like, you know, Sentinel Prime was probably the only like decent character in that whole movie. Even though it doesn't make sense, the storyline for that movie. So when you think about it, it's like, well, why are the Autobots fighting a war? Because the whole point of the whole story of that movie was that, you know, Megatron and Sentinel Prime made this deal way back in the day to come to Earth, use a space bridge to do whatever the fuck they were doing in the movie to revive Cybertron or whatever. And it's just like, well, that's good and fine. It's like, well, well, why are the Autobots and Decepticons still fighting, you know, in this big war? It's like the two leaders, because Sentinel Prime was the leader of the Autobots at that point. So it's like there's no reason there should be a fucking war. You know, if the two leaders came to an agreement. And that's just that. They don't really show like the consequences of having Cybertron come to Earth in the movie. You know what I mean? Like because obviously it's based on the episode. It's based on the Ultimate Doom episodes where they brought Cybertron to Earth. But in the Ultimate Doom episodes, in the cartoon, the original G1 cartoon, they got it right, where it's just like, yeah, there was like significant consequences to having Cybertron come to Earth. Because they actually showed that. They showed that there were quakes and whatnot like happening because Cybertron was brought to Earth. Like there was actual consequences. They didn't show any of that in the film, you know. Like they're just like, oh, well, it's gonna be bad because bad, you know. Like you're supposed to show it, not tell us, you know. because at that point it's like well, what's the reason why they need to fight? It's like well, why can't you just work with these motherfuckers to bring back Cybertron? It's like if there's no real consequences happening to having Cybertron on Earth. It's like, you know what I mean? It's dumb, dumb stuff. No, it's not that the story has to be like Shakespeare or anything like that. It's Transformers. It's robots fighting each other. It's like there has to be some common sense to it, you know. It doesn't have like it shouldn't just be like outright dumb for no reason. Okay, that's gonna be it for my clouds. And so from now on, the last thing we'll be doing now is we'll just put in the rocks to base layer. Okay, it should be dry now. Yeah. So I guess that one probably go up in there. This one probably go there. So kind of the corner pieces. Now for I just kind of scatter them across. It's kind of hard to put them in, so to speak. I don't like this one. It's kind of a weird one. Really shaped one. I'll do that. Yeah, the front probably wouldn't have a whole lot of, yeah. Yeah, screw it. I'll go for it. And I might actually put some little plants on the edges, actually. Just kind of make it look like we're getting into a little bit of forest area in some areas. Okay. I'm not even sure what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, smack it. Yeah, exactly. It just has to make sense in the story, you know, that they're telling, you know? I'm kind of like that. I'll do these front ones. Yeah, I think we're just gonna finish off the base here today, and then we'll call it a wrap. So we're almost done here. So I add a few little extra details, and then we can go wrap this stream up. We're just gonna leave this one. Yeah, I don't like this one. It's a weirdly shaped rock I made. All right. Gonna find my plant bits. Oh, and the rocks. Do some extra little details there. Not that stuff. It's be more swampy. Let's pull a chunk there. My thingy. Little knife thing. freezers. Already losing our glue. Just saw it's after 3. Do you have it? Not really. I just don't know if I'll be able to get too much done today. Or I'm just kind of waiting for the stuff to dry, all that. So I just want to get this the base layer done, and then I'll call it that. That's what we're gonna do. Now I need to get some food. I'm really hungry. So I got to eat some human beings. That's what we do. Should be a little there. Yep. There we go. Yeah, so we're just gonna kind of finish up the plants and maybe a little bit of the rocks here. I think that'll be it. Just trying to get a piece that's not falling apart. I'm just gonna lay them in just randomly. I'll just drop some glue on it. Hopefully it sticks. So I'm trying to have more of a eerie sort of beach, not so much a fancy sort of public beach sort of thing here. It's meant to kind of have like a bit of an eeriness to it. It's meant to be kind of like after the wars and all that. Hopefully I can find some like little vehicles, like World War II vehicle type things to add to it. Just drop them all everywhere. Be careful not to do too much on the front here, though. So that's where the big boy's going. Should be good enough for now. I'll just put a few things. There we go. It would be kind of cool to have like a tank barrel sticking up or some treads or something. In the Comaticons, it was all about Onslaught and the Jeep, yeah. Well, it made him kind of a badass in the or for Cybertron games, though. It made him kind of cool. That was mostly because he was in the movie, in the Michael Bay films, so they kind of made him more popular because of that. I just drop glue everywhere on the plants, and hopefully it sticks to the. Hey. Let's kind of add like little droplets here. All right. You know, I'm not even gonna bother gluing those in. Just leave it. If it falls off, it falls off. It doesn't fall off, it doesn't fall off, you know. So, all right, let's grab some little rocks. I think we should be able to call it a wrap with the base layer. It's pretty, actually kind of liking it. Reminds me a little bit of the swamp, just a little bit. So drop them randomly. It's because I think it's because of the little vines and moss sticking out. The brand new thing of glue. Why is it running out? I barely used it. You can buy two of those. Yeah, yeah. Well, no, what I meant was like World War II like vehicles. I can't really because I want them to be like kind of to scale. You know, I want them to kind of be like a toy scale. So I don't know. Maybe if I find some like Transformers that turn into like tanks, like really cheaper ones somewhere, maybe I can just like turn them. Maybe I just kind of use those and break them apart to make a. Looking for it. Okay, let's drop some glue here. And drop some rocks. Realized I was smacking it next to the microphone. Sorry, guys. Hopefully, it doesn't hurt your eardrums. Ah. Okay. Yeah. For vibrant, go sort of more muted green for the moss effects. Yeah, so I'm kind of going for like more of a swamp, not a swampy beach, but like kind of like I don't know. I think you guys get the idea. Not too pretty. It's a Decepticon shelf. And this guy's running low. Let's see. There we go. Oh, this is a new. Here's a new one I have. Hold on. All right, we're still in the game. We probably have a few more rocks. And they're sliding down. I'm gonna put a little bit of foliage on the rocks here. I think we're good. There's a few rocks here. I have an idea. Just gonna kind of not really dump it, just kind of like shake a little of the foliage onto it. Just add a little bit of extra like kind of fluff to it. There we go. Well, guys, oh, I might just add these guys in real quick. Might as well. Throw you on there. You get in there. But yeah, I think we're done for the day. We got quite a bit done. The little beach. I'll give you guys a better angle of that. And so, yeah, there's the water, and then we have our little rocks and kind of like grass, plant foliage sort of terrain. So it'll look a lot cooler if I ever do get around to getting some like military vehicles kind of sticking out. Some places like having some like tank treads or whatever. But for the time being, I think this will work just fine. It'll kind of sell the idea of it being like kind of an old sort of a battleground sort of beach. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Just want to go through the chat, make sure I see everybody and acknowledge everyone. So we have Grumpy in the chat, There's Dadman and Dadman. I think that was about it. If I'm not mistaken. And I'm sure we had a bunch of lurkers somewhere. And so thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, so tomorrow, I might stream tomorrow night after work. And so so tomorrow night we'll probably do, because now that we're done the base, we can just do nothing but the back wall. And so we'll finish up the clouds, we'll do the mountains, and then we'll do the water, and then we'll do the trees and all that. Should be just about it. It should be everything we need to do for this diorama in particular. So on that note, I think we're going to call it a wrap here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Oh, and I better get my clip pulled up. Hold on. I'm working on an awkward angle here. All right. Later, guys.
Retreat! Retreat!
Combaticons! I told you to abort! The mission is lost! Who are you to defy me?
I've heard enough of his orders. We need to take control of this ship! Combaticons! Combine into Bruticus!